sometimes you got to get elbows out when you're defending. That was me. When that door opened a sliver, I was like, bah!
Of course.
I'm here. Hello.
Right here on the Flash Drive pitch, we write our tale. A story of a girl from Mitchell's Plain who soared above what was expected. Here we lay our scene on radio on KFM 94.5 with one individual who can best be by her surname a Stuart of football excellence. A princess of punditry, somebody who is in the cauldron of chaos when it comes to football's most daring and defiant moments, capturing stories and of course players like no one can. It's Julia Stuart versus Carl Wastie. Welcome back to Cape Town.
Amazing to be home.
Yeah.
Amazing to be home. People keep saying to me, why are you here? It's winter. Listen, London's like this every day anyway.
That's
so
right.
May as well come see my family and spend some time on the Flash Drive with Carl Wastie.
When Premier League TV said, hi there, Julia. Oh, sorry, hi there, Julia. We should like you to come over and do some work for us, if you don't mind. I know you're very busy with the South African League, but we were thinking maybe you can come through and we could pay you a really, a good salary.
What happened was, the only email came when I did the Women's World Cup final, and sent the email to say, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I resigned. Yeah. I went home after the final whistle and resigned. No, we rapped for an hour and then I went home and resigned.
Done.
Sometimes you just, you know what they say about comfort zones, Carl, and I'd done that for 8 years and I'd been wanting to do something different. And, I'd done South African football. I did Women's World Cups, 2 of them. The only thing I didn't have, Euros, AFCONs, Olympics, the only thing I didn't have was the Men's World Cup, and I did that. And I did Women's World Cup, and when I say did, I mean anchored and hosted for the African continent. That is huge. That's major to have on your CV. So I'd put in the work, but on this global stage, no one really knew me. So I'm starting over, but I'm starting with experience, right? And I was willing to take that chance because I did know that this opportunity would come for me. And there was another league in Europe that had made an offer because they needed a host to anchor their Saturday and Sunday primetime games. And then someone called me about Women's World Cup for somewhere to come on as an African expert. And I mentioned, and this person used to work for Premier League Productions, and he said, hold on a second, let me call them. This came to me in the most serendipitous way. It was divine intervention, so I knew I had to go for this one. You dream about something and you think it may happen, and then you can't just wait. So no one is coming to find you. You have to, and when they say manifest, you also have to go out and do certain things.
Yeah.
So I did everything that was in my control. I worked. I made sure that when the opportunity came, I was going to grab it and be ready for it. I put it out there that perhaps I was looking to do other things. I was very happy where I was and I was grateful for the opportunity. But if there was another step for me to take in my career, I was ready for it. So I started doing that and I got so many no's. I'd reached out to agents because I thought I was going to go to the US. And I'd hoped to, because obviously that's now the new center of football. And I got so many no's. So rejected and so just depressing. And people can understand that in this day and age, people are getting a lot of no's because the economy is different. TV is one example of things that are not working the way they used to work anymore. But there are so many around the world. Yeah. And if you hear enough no's, you start to think, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. And hearing Lewis Hamilton, when he won at Silverstone, say that even the great Lewis Hamilton was saying he wasn't sure if he was still good enough, if he still had it. I could understand that. Because if you hear no enough, if you have enough, no matter how many wins you had before, if you have enough people telling you no, because people told me you'll never get a job in the US. We can't hire you. You don't have the right accent or the right look, or you're not going to get to the UK. It's too difficult to get a visa. If people tell you that enough, you start to believe it. But then you just got to be, I don't know if I can say this word on radio.
Are you trying
to... Stubborn. There's an Afrikaans... You got to be harde. And just be like, you know what? I'm going to be the one that it happens for.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes if your thoughts become your reality. People say that all the time. You see these things on Instagram and you don't believe them.
No.
Just try doing a couple of them. Just try and I am going to be. I will be. It's already happening for me. And when it happened, I was like, wow, is this real? Is this real? Am I dreaming? I went very quietly. I made the move quite quietly because I was scared. I was anxious. I was worried. Is it going to work out?
Did you not make that because there was something inside you saying like you weren't sure if it was, you were good enough? Was that a voice in your head that you had
there
lingering?
are multiple voices telling me like no, because, you have all these emails from agents over, I don't know, 2 or 3 years saying, no, you're not, you're not going to get a job. We don't have an opportunity for you at the moment. The industry, there's no space. There's A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly grateful that everything worked out the way it did. And obviously, it's still a work in progress. As I said, I'm starting again. But as I tell people there all the time, I'm new here, but I'm not brand new. And all the work that I did in South Africa, as I mentioned to you, it's the same thing you're doing there. So the quality that we have here, as we know with our musicians and our actors and actresses and DJs, is international quality. You just need an opportunity. And when they open the door even like an inch, I just got my shoulders out and bust through.
And you remained Aragat and you were like, this is mine.
Bongani Kumalo told me that sometimes you got to get elbows out when you're defending. That was me. When that door opened a sliver, I was like, bah!
Of course.
I'm here. Hello.
You know what I also like? Like people like Peter Drury, when they say stuff like this, man.
And as Julia has just so well put it from South Africa, I thought she was excellent, by the way, her analysis.
Peter Drury, when I met him for the first time, I think it was at Stamford Bridge, and I said to him that this happened, and I played that clip for him, and I said, you didn't know me. You had no reason to be kind to me, and yet the great Peter Drury was kind to me on this very international platform.
Yes.
And that, I'll never forget that, and please keep doing that, because you never know whose day or life or week you're going to make. I thought that was, when you meet your heroes and they are nice people, that's always an incredible experience.
What people heard you say is the amount of no's that you received.
Yes.
And you are now on a platform. You are now on form. And if you understand the word no, backwards it is on. And you flip that around. So you're welcome, Julia. You can use that.
Save it. Put it on a t-shirt.
Please. You have a gentleman by the name of, Rands, I think, over here. Really proud of Julia from a fellow Gunner support. Oh, fellow. You're not supposed to say who she supports.
Oh, I don't care.
This interview is something that I needed in my life right now. Thank you very much, Julia, for the inspiration. Also, I also grew up in Mitchell's Plain. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your words. I think it is so inspirational right now.
Hey, that's Fabian.
People don't really tell us how to navigate what we're going through right now in the world. And I just want to say to Fabian, sometimes when you're trying to do something different or when you're going through difficult times, you gotta not listen to the people around you, or you have to not, the thing I was telling you earlier, Carl, you gotta just make moves in silence. Like everything you need is already within you. Just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing. Good luck to Fabian. Like, just keep pushing.
Hi, Carl and Julia. My husband is a major Premier League fan. He's always been a fan. Unfortunately for him, he's a Spurs supporter. So the T in Spurs actually stands for trauma.
Because it ain't stand for trophy.
How can you banter? You're supposed to be neutral. What? Yo. Hey,
Spurs were... Kulusevski was mean to me. I said this the other day.
Really?
He was so horrible to me after the North London derby. And I was like, yo, I didn't lose the game, man. It wasn't me. It wasn't... Yeah, that was trauma. That was my trauma.
Oh, it was Kulusevski. Was he rude to you?
He was just upset, and I was an easy target. I often am, because I'm a woman. I don't look like them. I don't sound like them. So, yeah, it happens. But this skin of mine is very thick, hey?
Also, people from back here, I also heard that I'm sure people had expectations around the way you'd carry yourself in that spot, right? And I mean, I did hear, we had a nice brief chat this morning as well about how people expected you to sound, or told you, oh, you sound different now.
Two things.
Yes.
Jay-Z once said that it's not necessarily you that's changed, but it's the way people see you has changed. The way people see you has changed. And that may not be Jay-Z, so please don't quote me on this. But I'm pretty sure I saw an interview with him, and he's so right. It's people might see you there and decide, oh, she's A, B, C, and D, but it's not. Like I told you, I'm still doing what I was doing before. I'm the same. And where you come from, and when you come home, you're doing the dishes, or you're still, you're still the child in the home, and the family doesn't see you any different. They'd be like, oh, Miss Premier League, nice, that's 5 minutes, tell us, and then back to normal. That will keep you humble forever. You
Oh,
know,
yes.
you always stay humble.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, when I tell people over there, they complain about the trains don't work every 2 minutes or they're not on time or whatever. I'm like, we don't have cables.
Yeah,
like
the trains don't come sometimes.
We don't have that. Like, yeah. So you'll stay forever humble. But what drives me crazy is that people who are nasty feel more entitled to put their opinion on a public platform or to reach out to you. And there are so many people who support you silently, but if they don't tell you, you'll never know. So you've got to not worry about the validation. The validation needs to come from within you. You need to be proud of what you're doing. But then you also need to be grateful when people do share positivity and when they do share light. And I always say, thank you so much. Thank you for the message. Thank you for, when my mom says, too many people have said nice things. And I'm like, no, tell me exactly who. Tell me exactly what they said, because 10,000 people will feel like they can tell you horrible things. I didn't like your outfit. I didn't like your shoes. I didn't like this question. I didn't like your hair. I didn't stupid things. And then maybe one person will say something positive, and it's so appreciated.
And the way that I have reframed it is somebody has spent their time crafting whatever it says, a little story about you and what they don't like about you, about what you said. And they've done that with their own time. And you know what I tell a lot of people in broadcasting who are still, kind of getting in, even people who are doing content creation.
Yeah.
I say to them that person spent their time on you. So they have given you their time. Thank them for their time.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank them because they gave it to you. They thought you were important enough to comment, positive or negative, on your post, on your video, on your broadcast. Thank them for their time.
Once you understand that a lot of people, the things they don't like about you is just their own projection. Sometimes people say horrible things about you because you are showing them that their excuses are not valid. If you're here doing it, perhaps that's something they wanted to do and they couldn't, or they talked themselves out of it. But they project, and something about you doesn't sit right within them or their own shortcomings or inadequacies. And then that becomes the thing they fixate on and that they are negative about to you.
Yeah.
So once you understand that, just don't take it personally.
I have a 14-year-old son, and I recall telling him the only thing that matters in this moment over here is like, if you know something about yourself, it's something that you need to know and back and get behind. It means you trust yourself knowing that thing. And I recall one day he was at soccer practice, and I got him a new pair of boots because as a footballer myself, I like a good pair of boots. So I got him a pair of boots, and I recall his peers, not even friends, said to him, "Oh, it's fake, Wastie, it's fake." And I remember he gets into the car, and I said, "Are you good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "Are you sure? You sure you're good?" Because I heard what the guys said. They said that your boots were fake. How do you feel about that? He's like, "No, it's fine, Dad. I know they're not fake. So that's all that matters." And in that moment, it's like, it was one of those parenting moments where I thought, sure, something got through. It was a beautiful moment. And I think that it echoes what you were saying now for everybody, is that we have to have that belief in ourselves.
I mean, I can't even tell you as a woman in this industry, coming up especially, or starting out or moving, why is she on TV? Why is she doing that? Why does she have that? People come up with all sorts of excuses because some people do behave that way. And so they just, it's a way of them saying she must be there because A, B, and C. They need that for themselves. And you know the truth, and it does always stand the test of time. It does always come out.
Yeah.
But I have spent many years telling myself, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. The talent will come out at some point, or the recognition, not recognition, the space where you see yourself in, it'll happen one day.
Yes.
It must happen.
You are, and I heard you say this morning in passing, you are leaving breadcrumbs
Absolutely.
for other women from this beautiful city in this country.
And
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm getting there, but I want to start there. Ladies first.
Sorry, I'll let you.
And sports broadcasters, right, alike, to walk into these places and know they belong. And that's the power of what you said today. And all of those no's that you switched on, you're welcome. You can use that. It's an inspiring story. And thank you for showing us that you can move in the silence of the media. You can move in those spaces and still make a huge impact just by the work, not the PR work, by the work we see on TV.
I feel a sense of responsibility every time I go out there and I'm on air, because I know that I'm doing it so that the next woman or girl or boy from South Africa, from South America from wherever, when they come knocking on the door, it won't be as hard for them to get in.
Yeah.
But also just to say that when I was growing up, there was no one who looked like me on TV in sport. And so you can't really be what you can't see. And hopefully by me being there, people and representation matters, you know. So hopefully by me being there, it's not just for people who work in sport or TV, just a sign of like somebody who had this dream and who had this belief and who just was obsessed with making it happen. And who knows where we're going from here, man.
Absolutely amazing. Julia 1 and of course Negativity 0 will be closely following the action on Premier League TV and Sky Sports with Julia Stuart into the future from South Africa, from Cape Town, from Mitchell's Plain, and of course from the heart. From me, Carl Wastie, in this broadcast, have a beautiful evening. Catch you soon. Bye.